can place our turbines wherever we like as we start painting. So there's your reference image. You want that. You want to keep that handy. And then you should have a piece of carbon paper. Carbon paper has a dull side and it has a shiny side. The shiny side is the business side. You want to make sure that that shiny side is facing down on top of your canvas. The next thing you're going to find is your tracing paper. It has the outline of the image that we're going to transfer to the canvas with the carbon paper. And I'm going to put this to the side. And then you should have a canvas, of course. And your canvas has 4 sides, but mine is a canvas board. When we're painting, you want to make sure that you paint the sides of your canvas so that when you hang it, it looks like a finished painting. Okay. Next, you should have 3 paint brushes. Okay. You're going to have a flat brush that has a straight edge. You're going to have a round brush. Okay, so take those out of the plastic containers if you haven't already. And then you're going to have a fan brush. And this is our Bob Ross style tree making brush. So that's going to be the last thing we use. And then you also have a palette knife. If you don't worry about it. You can still use your and then some paper towels, of course, and I have 2 containers of water. I recommend 2, but you can just have 1 if that's what you have handy. And then, of course, your palette tray, which is where we're going to mix paint. So you'll have that. And then, of course, you'll have your paint. When you guys paint with us next year, because it's going to be so much more fabulous next year, you're going to get a set of paints like this. Okay, so the tops are going to easily screw off like this. There'll be an aluminum seal over the top so they don't spill. So we have ultimately solved the problem. It just took a couple more tries, but we finally solved that problem. But at any rate, you should have the colors blue, black, white, and maybe yellow, I think. Yes, blue, black, white, and yellow. It's the computer generated imaging, I think, something like that. You know, like they do a computer generated kind of thing.
Learn something
so
new every
somebody
day.
said string. Somebody said pager. There's another for guitar string.
I'm going with strings since Natalia answered it so fast. I feel like she knows it.
EGI.
She did.
Pager.
She did come out pretty quickly with that. Let's see what the answer
Natalia
is.
for you.
Yes, it was the guitar string. The string was attached to the bottom of the cup and plucked to make the ripples.
Go Natalia. Go Natalia.
Good job. All right, so we're going to do something else, kind of tricky now. This is what artists do. And you guys, halo area, and now we're lightening our stroke as we get towards the center. Just lighten it up, and then you'll have that gradual color. And then the same thing on the bottom corner. We're going to go in with pure phthalo blue. I had to keep going because otherwise my paint would dry, and that would be a disaster. But yeah, we can wet. If your paint feels a little dry, go ahead and add just a teeny bit of water. We don't want it watery. And then just long sweeping strokes. And then as we get closer towards the center, now I'm going to rinse my brush. Rinse it all the way of paint, all free of paint. Just going to tap 1 time on my paper. And the answer is it takes about 1,200 grapes to make 1 bottle of wine.
Monica's going to pass her test.
There we have it.
Are they all wine questions?
Right. So this is just the same process again.
Okay, Cheryl, we heard it all. Don't worry. We've heard it all.
Earlier, I said wood turbine. I don't know where that came from. But
that's right.
All right.
Wind turbine.
Uh-huh.
So
there we go. And
like Dr. Theo.
That's okay if they're a little crooked, but all you're doing is taking your flat brush with that straight chiseled edge and just, yeah.
Yeah, my trees look like fir Christmas trees, y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how,
Well,
that's beautiful. Oh.
That's the kind of forest you created. Very nice.
Yes.
Okay, so same thing here. I hope that at least one of you guys gets inspired and paints more than one time. Paint a lot. There's nothing like being in the zone and creating something that never existed. So even though you're, mimicking this painting, your version of it never existed. You created something original.
That's a good way to think about it.
Mm-hmm. So I'm going to make one, what did Bob say? One mighty tree. There was that other guy. What was his name? William Alexander. That's what his name was. And he had a big, thick Russian or Polish accent. He used to say, I'd like to paint the mighty trees. And he would push that fan brush in and just go crazy with the trees. And I always thought that was so powerful to be able to do that. All right, so now the next part we're making is our lighter color trees. We're making the lighter colored trees, and then we're going to make, some marks on the road and everything, give some more realism to this painting. So we're going to go ahead and pick up some white and add that to the palette tray again. Okay. And we're going to use your fan brush, push it up against any lines that you have so they look a little rough. Okay, we want roughness here. And then I'm going to do my little tree that's closest to the road. I'm just going to, you know what? I think we're going to use that flat brush for that. And we're going to push out most of that paint because we only need a tiny bit. We're wiping it off on the paper towel. All we need is the remnants of the paint. So I'm just going to tap, 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 tap. A tiny little Christmas tree.